we go. Final Four action, Connecticut, UCLA. We are underway in Tampa. A trip to the national championship is on the line. Winner will face South Carolina, 3 Eastern on ABC on Sunday.
UConn starting out in a man-to-man, and of course, what are you keeping your eye on? Lauren Betts and how UConn can defend her.
Connecticut comes up with a steal. AZ Fudd lays it in. A good sign for Connecticut to get an early one to go through for Fudd.
Corey Close told us one of the biggest keys for her team was to not turn the ball over and lead to easy buckets the other way for Connecticut.
She said Connecticut already has too many layups, too many threes. You have live ball turnovers, and they get those even easier. Dugalich, back ironing off. Betts tracks it, but it's whacked away by Al-Alfi. Here comes the freshman Sarah Strong. Sarah Strong digs in and lays it home.
Coaches have been telling her, take it yourself.
At 22 points on 8 of 13 shooting in the Elite Eight. Here's Betts getting another touch. The All-American dives in and finishes.
Expect them to do a variety of things defensively against Betts in this game.
Al-Alfi waits and gets denied by Betts. Out of bounds, it'll stay here.
Just patience. She does a great job. Uses her dribble, turns, finishes, can go over either shoulder with either hand. And then here gets the block on this end of the floor.
Inbound to Strong, left it short. Dugalich the rebound.
Did Kiki Rice get a piece of that maybe?
Maybe. Rice able to curl it in on the attack. Nice response from UCLA after the first 4 went to UConn in transition. Both these teams can get up and down. Becker's off. Al-Alfi the offensive board and the putback. London Jones takes a seat early. Here is Betts. Al-Alfi already with one. Double comes and a 3-second violation is called. Beckers comes back to the basketball. Beckers on a historic run. Had a career high 40 in the Sweet 16. Followed it up with 30-plus in the Elite Eight. Chen to Strong. She got it. Down a 3. Here's Dugalich backing into Strong. Dugalich, great fake. And the left-handed finish. And they have to be just delighted to be here first and foremost. But with the way their daughter has started this game against the best center in the country, Lauren Betts. Al-Alfi loses it there. Poked away by Barker and off the bench for UCLA. Arnesalo swivels it in transition. (9-8). Connecticut leads UCLA more than halfway through the first quarter. Chen pulls up and drains the jumper. Betts gets a touch. Tamia Gardner in off the bench for UCLA as well. Betts couldn't get it to drop. Again, was pushed out just enough. Here comes Beckers. Beckers yet to score in this game. 3 straight 30-point games. Matching her own Connecticut record. The first to do it in the tournament. Beckers is on the board in the Final Four. As Beckers ties Breanna Stewart for 4th most points in NCAA Tournament history. Caitlin Clark at the top of that list. 5 turnovers for UCLA already. Beckers turns the corner. Al-Alfi wants some help, also needs to tie her shoe. Here's Fudd. She got it. Corey Close's key to us before the game was we have got to take significantly more shots than Connecticut. As Strong picks up her first, and Betts will have a chance for 3.
And last but not least, Lauren Betts has got to get deeper, sealed.
Just a few feet away from that area where she completely dominates under the cylinder.
Now something to watch, Rebecca. Now Strong is the 5 in this lineup as Strong connects. Here's Barker, the handoff. Rice spinning at it, poked. And a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Connecticut. She would be a lottery pick. I think everybody would concur with that, the way she has played this season in this tournament. Here's Fudd. Fudd's three. Banks in! For them to come away with a win. Thought the 4 possession in general would. Here's Betts. Back to work on Strong. Able to finish.
She's not rushed. She finds the player who's open on the weak side of the floor. Does that as well as any big.
Saw Gardner miss there. She went 5 for 8 from 3 in the Elite 8 win for UCLA over LSU. Here's Beckers, 3 seconds left. Beckers at the buzzer. You bet. UConn leads UCLA. Connecticut finishing that first on a 14-5 run. This is the largest deficit at the start of the second quarter this season for UCLA. The overall #1 seed in this tournament. They've lost just 2 games all season. Both of those were to USC. They eventually avenged that with a Big Ten championship win against them, and another turnover from UCLA.
At time
7. Fudd can't get it to drop. Bounces out to Beckers. Her jumper is off as well. Fudd is going to let it go out of bounds. Beckers, Arnold, Fudd, Strong, Al-Alfie. The 5 for Connecticut. London Jones, Jaquez, Gardner, Rice, and Betts for UCLA. Here's Fudd off the handoff. 6 to shoot. Fudd leaning, got hit. Foul called on Kiki Rice. Diana said she's liking retirement thus far. Didn't have to start up the engine. As Fudd hits the first free throw. That foul was UCLA's first of the game. Called on Rice. Fudd off to a good start here in the Final Four. 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Connecticut continuing to extend its pressure.
Jaquez couldn't twirl it in. Here's Fudd attacking. Fudd's pull-up is good.
UCLA to find some perimeter shooting.
Yeah, their 2 losses, they were combined 7 for 33, 21%. As Betts gets a deep touch and finishes on the delivery from Barker.
Kiki Rice doing a good job bringing them in together.
10 turnovers for UCLA. They turn it over just 15 times per game on average. Arnold looking in. Arnold spinning, dishing. Brady's mid-range is good as Connecticut takes advantage again. Here's Gardner. Jaquez dumps it in. Betts just going right to work on ice. Brady. Lauren Betts, 11 points. Arnold gets fouled. One of the things that Corey Close has talked to us about, position. She said, I was trying to find the right balance every day of practice between struggle. Going to need that now, down 13 to Connecticut.
Connecticut man-to-man.
Here's Betts with Brady on her. Betts dishes out. Rice will take the 3 and hit.
Getting a chance to see 2 of the top freshmen in the country here in this Final Four with Sarah Strong and Joyce Edwards.
Here's Fudd's jumper. She got it. Hazy Fudd, 5 of 7 in this first half. Arnesalo tiptoes baseline. Big shot here for Jones. Airmailed it. Here comes Chen. The Princeton transfer to the corner. Fudd. You bet! Maisie joked with us when they first drew up the elevator screen play. She said, wait, is he really drawing it up for me right now? She had been 0 for 9 at that time through 3 quarters. Here's Dugalich turning, flipping, and banking it in. As Strong had to be careful with 1 foul already.
Really nice finish by Dugalich.
Beckers ended up in more space than expected and said, okay, I'll take it. Arnesalo loses it. Strong has it in transition. Beckers, what a feed! The touch pass!
728 days without playing in an NCAA tournament game. Her knee injury, her struggles to come back. She said there were times I wasn't sure if it was worth it, but I stuck with it, and here she is on the biggest stage.
Coming back to Connecticut for another season next year, as Strong comes up with a knockaway. Another UCLA turnover, their 13th. Corey Close just shaking her head. Chen fakes the three. Fudd, one more. Oh, yeah. It was 961 days that passed, and Paige and AJ played just 2 games together over that span. They came to Connecticut together to play together. Finally are getting that chance this season and coming through. UCLA went too early there. Time for Connecticut. Chen with 5 seconds left. Beckers wrapping around. Strong. Does she get it off? She does not. And that will do it for the first half. Connecticut, a 20-point lead.
The most important thing is that we do it together. She knows this team is better than they've shown so far. They've got to protect the basketball and get back to being UCLA.
They were down big in the Big Ten championship game to USC and were able to come back and win that. Trailing by 20 to begin the second half tonight. El Alfie gets denied, but a foul. Now you're talking about 6'5" on 5'4". El Alfie misses both. And UCLA catch a rhythm here in this second half. 22 points for the fewest Connecticut had allowed and a half this season, as Rice couldn't quite get the roll, did all the hard work, and then it was halfway down. Here's London Jones, surrounded in the corner. Back to Rice. Jaquez has it taken away by Beckers, who's trying to get it into Betts.
El Alfie had fallen down, and that's one way you defend the post, is by limiting.
Wow, Becker's able to hit.
Limiting the entry pass, right? Come on.
London Jones lost her footing, then the basketball. The second half starting the way the first half went for UCLA. Fudd lobs it in. Chen, what a feed! And Strong finishes it. Kiki Rice across her body gets a whistle. A lot of highlights tonight in transition from Connecticut as Rice and survives the announcer jinx. Beckers pull-up jumper is short. Arnesalo into the game for UCLA. She subbed in early in the first half for London Jones as well. Dugalich, no look. Jaquez didn't take it right away. Dugalich trying to get it down to Betts. Caught the net, but Betts still was able to gather and finish. Down the floor, Chen got free, bounces back. Beckers pulls the string. Beckers just 4 for 13 in this game. 8 points. Comes into this one 3 straight 30-point games. Matching her own Connecticut record. First time a Connecticut player's done it in the tournament, though. As Betts again digs in deep.
And a really nice contest and recovery by Paige Beckers defensively.
Here's Chen attacking, dishing. El Alfie finishing. Jaquez on the cut. Can't get that to drop. Jaquez the rebound. Again unable to finish. Been a tough night so far for Jaquez, the hero of the Elite Eight. Beckers separates and hits. Rice then a loose handle. Arnold nearly got to it. And Geno Auriemma feels like Rice went over and back there as Rice then gets fouled.
To improve her mental health, she described, I feel like I'm watching my younger self heal. And she said she's had a lot of people reach out on social media with DMs saying, you have helped save my life. When you're struggling, the strong thing is to ask for help, and Lauren Betts is teaching us every single day.
Beautifully said, Holly, and it was so powerful reading that story and then being in the room, hearing Lauren talk about it and get emotional, recounting how many people have reached out to her to say thank you for the way that she has helped them by telling her story. Beckers can't get that one. Volleyed up in the air, ends up back with Beckers. Strong at three. Is good. UCLA, 1 of 12 outside the paint in this one. Betts gets a touch, trying to take Brady, draws 2 into the corner, pass not on target. Arnesalo couldn't cup it in. Beckers flies back for her 5th board. Fudd gives it up. Beckers dances inside and finishes, plus the foul.
UConn is moving the ball so unselfishly and quickly, and then there, Paige Beckers dicing, slicing through the lane, gets hit right in the net.
Beckers with 12 points. Misses the free throw. Connecticut just 3 of 7. Gardner a 3. That one is good. But to be a Gardner, the Oregon State transfer, who had 5 in the win against LSU. Strong left alone. Connects. Here's Betts. Handing it off. Barker in the corner lets it fly and hits from 3. Fudd, pull up? No. Barker screams in for the rebound. Final minute of this third. Fudd has not scored in the third after she had 19 in the first half. Been more Beckers and Strong this quarter. Rice missed that one badly. Up ahead, Strong in transition, fillets it home. The lead is 25 for Connecticut. And a whistle underneath. And hits them both. Lauren Betts doing everything she can for UCLA. Now it's 17 points. Strong has 8 of the last 10 for Connecticut. Here's Fudd, 4 seconds left in the quarter. Brady lines it up. Can't hit, and that will do it for the third. Connecticut leads by 23 after 3. Kendall Dudley will inbound for UCLA, getting some minutes here. The freshman has not played yet tonight, is a normal part of the rotation. Plays about 12 minutes a game. Here's Rice. Off to Gardner, launching way off, and El Alfie able to dig up the rebound.
The balance for Connecticut on the offensive end. Azzi Fudd only took 1 shot in the third quarter, but Sarah Strong had 10 points. They just have so much balance across the board.
Strong gets a catch, finishes, plus the foul. It's another 20-point night for Sarah Strong.
El Alfie up top. Sarah Strong holds the seal. She's got incredible hands. Finishes. Approved for the and one. We had a chance to meet with her the other day, and how shy she can be in certain settings. And did you see like the embarrassed smile on her face as her teammates are coming over and chest bumping her and giving her 5s?
Azzi Fudd with 19, Beckers with 12, Sarah Strong with 20. That trio has been the most efficient trio in basketball this season.
Another terrific closeout by Paige Beckers when the ball went into the post and then reversed.
Beckers, smooth. 4 straight national championships, 4 straight Final Four Most Outstanding Player awards. Lauren Betts able to finish. be a quick turnaround to Sunday afternoon for these teams. Here's Strong, takes the three, gonna drive it and finish it. Holly?
Well, Geno said that UConn saw Sarah Strong in a nondescript gym the summer after her freshman year. Jamel Elliott quickly called Geno and said, I just found the best player in America, and she's not far off.
Geno Auriemma earlier this season, Rebecca, he would marvel at the instincts for the game.
And she comes into this Final Four leading UConn this NCAA tournament in assists.
Right. While still being a downhill driver, that's always her first instinct. Dugalich can't finish. Another good contest from Beckers. Strong hands it off. Beckers goes cross court. Chen through the lane. Can't flip it in, but gets a whistle. I loved Elle Duncan quiz Paige after Geno had left. He said, all right, Geno said there's been 3 games only where you guys have fired on all cylinders. He's going to miss Paige Beckers. They've had such a unique relationship. Pretty soon, Paige will be moving on to the WNBA draft, where she is the projected #1 overall pick, which the Dallas Wings currently have in an outstanding season from the first-team All-American, who will be back for UCLA next year. Strong, nice look. Arnold banks it in. Jones throws it away out of bounds, and it's going to be Connecticut basketball.
And we saw Geno Auriemma pull her aside in their last round in Spokane. And when I asked Paige, what did he say to you? She said, all I need to worry about right now is what does my team need from me tonight? In Spokane, it was 40 points one game. Another game, it was 8 assists. But tonight, it's been defense. Her 3 steals, her defensive pressure. Every single round, we have seen Paige give her team what they need that night, just like Coach Auriemma asked her to do.
And right there, they needed a big reaction on the bench after that take from Jana El-Alfi. Thank you very much, Hal. What was interesting, too, Geno said he was talking to her about how he can feel that, too. He said, when there's outside expectations, so you have a lot of fans who are following, you can get caught up in, what does this mean for me? Do I need this title? And the way he focuses himself in these moments as he says, what does my team need from me today? And Paige told us that that mentality is really what unlocked her into those zone modes she was in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, just simply staying with that mindset. Rice fires a pass in. Betts turning, will finish, plus the foul. Lauren Betts with 25. Their games against primetime competition. As you see the celebration for Jana El-Alfi, her family here, her parents in from Egypt to watch her for the first time. She played great tonight. But it was interesting, Rebecca, talking to Geno earlier in the tournament. Ooh, look out. KK Arnold takes a big hit from Kiki Rice. As Lauren Betts goes to the sideline for UCLA. And Rice picks up her 5th foul. The inside-outside Stars seasons are done for UCLA as Connecticut adds on a little more. Arnasalo buries the 3. And UCLA in the Final Four for the first time in the NCAA era, which dates back to 1982.
As you mentioned earlier, adding Sienna Betts, one of the top recruits in the country.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
No.
As Arnold hits both. 31-point edge for Connecticut. Good to see the top 2 freshmen in the nation on Sunday with Joyce Edwards and Sarah Strong. UConn and South Carolina, who developed a nice rivalry in recent years. met in the national championship game in 2022, a South Carolina win. The only loss Geno Auriemma has taken in the national championship game, as Brady squeezes it in, plus the foul. And the Connecticut bench is having a party. Brady completes the three-point play. Any early thoughts looking ahead to Sunday?
It is going to be an absolutely fun game to watch, high-paced. I cannot wait to watch these two freshmen, Joyce Edwards and Sarah Strong, compete with one another. Yeah, I think we're going to have a much closer game than what we saw in the regular season.
Arnold gets fouled, and we'll go to the line. The Tennessee game, even when Connecticut was struggling a little bit and then lost that game that night, he told us, I'm going to have a really good NCAA tournament team. Then before the South Carolina game, he said to us, you know what? I'm going to have a great NCAA tournament team. Get your popcorn ready. Connecticut, South Carolina, coming your way Sunday afternoon. UConn headed to its 13th